everyone. So I'm sorry about this coming out as late as it is, but you know, technical problems and just the availability of doing it kind of has pushed it back a little bit. So anyway, this is my PAX East and GDC recap. So PAX East happened first. That happened about 3 weeks ago, actually, and this whole thing is going to come from me basically as an exhibitor instead of an attendee. So I also went to PAX Prime about 3 years ago in 2010. I had a blast at PAX Prime. So going to PAX East was a huge deal for me, and especially coming in as an exhibitor and being able to promote Rise of the Triad. It was a ton of fun. However, my thing with it is I didn't get a ton of footage because I was stuck in the booth all day. So this here is Tech Syndicate's basically his review of PAX East. So I will link this in the description below just so you guys can actually watch the full video with sound. And in fact, he actually named Rise of the Triad as his game of the show. So good news there. Yeah, PAX East. It was a lot of fun. I was basically stuck in the booth all day, which kind of sucked, but I was able to talk to a lot of people, and coming as a community manager, it was fantastic. I had so much fun during all of it. However, the exhibits there just did not compete with PAX Prime. Reason I say that is all of the big booths there did not really have games that I wanted to play. Like the ones that had big lines were like Twitch TV, which I use, but I don't use a ton. They had Elder Scrolls Online, which I'm just not a big fan of Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry, guys, but just I'm not. And League of Legends, which I play sometimes. So it was really, those were the big booths, and I'm like, they're not big deals to me, so I'm not going to wait in line for them. They had a few other games there, a lot of indie games. There was a huge indie game section, and as much as I walked through that, I really didn't see much that I wanted to play personally, but I've heard these guys actually talked about a few games on there that I missed completely, and they look like a lot of fun. So yeah, again, you guys can look at that later. But yeah, so I was in the EVGA and Digital Storm booth with basically Rise of the Triad. We had 6 computers set up, a bunch of people showed up there, and a lot of people loved it. Everyone who played the game, in fact, I have a video which I'm also going to link below. It's from Fabio, who is one of our playtesters. He did just a big fan video. I'll link that also down below. He actually got a few people going stuff like, I don't like these types of games, but this game is awesome. Stuff like that. We heard that the whole weekend, and it was fantastic. I loved it, and yeah, so that was basically my highlight, was actually being in the booth and talking to people, not so much the actual expo itself. But like I said, it's, if you like League of Legends, if you like Elder Scrolls, and if you like Twitch, this would have been a fantastic expo for you. I went to go see, on my little break, I went to go see the Rooster Teeth panel on Friday, and that was my highlight away from the booth, basically. I love Rooster Teeth. As you can see, I actually have Red vs. Blue, and it's signed by both Bernie, Gus, and Jeff, actually. And I have that sitting there because, that was a highlight from the last time I went to PAX. So, yeah, it was long, it was exhausting. I was on my feet pretty much all day. In fact, actually, Digital Storm was raffling off one of their systems that we were showing the game on, and we had a packed, well, our booth was fairly empty because we didn't allow people in the booth at that time, but all around it we were surrounded probably by, I want to say, a couple hundred people, so much so that the enforcers actually had to come up and say, you guys have to move because this is a fire hazard. So oops. But yeah, Boston was fun. I was able to go hang out with a friend of mine and his girlfriend, and it was great. The actual city itself, questionable, but that's just me coming from Minnesota, and I love Minnesota. But anywho, it was like cab fares, tolls, all of that fun stuff. So, yeah. Then I went to GDC. GDC is not actually meant for me, being the system administrator and the community manager for Interceptor. It's meant more for the people who actually are the creative thought of games and level designers and people like that, because there was a lot of writing styles. There was a lot of, hey, this is kind of how you get into the mind of gamers to help your game be developed better. I, however, still had some fun. I was able to I met a ton of people from Game Informer. I met a ton of people from Polygon. I met a few people from like Insomniac. I met a guy who did a lot for SimCity, the new one, and I do have to thank Dave, who was our marketing guy, for introducing me to basically all of these people, and that was my highlight. The after parties were kind of my highlight. I did get a badge, this guy here, so it looks cool. I like the fact that it shows the fact that I'm the community manager on it and all of that fun stuff. However, to me, I like my system administrator title better, but community manager kind of just is better when you go and meet people. But San Francisco, never been there, never went to Boston. San Francisco was nuts. We were walking distance from the community center. It was a longer walk, but it was a walking distance nonetheless. So we were kind of in that prime spot where homeless people kind of just, asked you for money all the time. But instead of asking you, they just kind of yelled in your general direction, but they yelled incoherently. So, yeah. Anyway, that's beside the point. Just in case you want to go to GDC, just prepare for that. But yeah, there really wasn't free stuff there, which I wasn't expecting. I was able to test out the Oculus Rift, which is the 3D virtual reality headset that was actually brought up on Kickstarter. And when I tested it, it was the first time that they released it to public. They did a lot of stuff behind closed doors. And when I tested it, it was really cool. I went in actually very skeptical on it, but as I was watching people develop, or as they were playing it, you could see their reaction. Like, you can't see their eyes, but you could see them just going, oh, whoa. So, and I have to say, I also had that same reaction. We were playing Hawken, and it was one of those games where you're in a mech. For those of you who don't know, you're in a mech, and with the Oculus Rift, you can look around, and it'll actually turn the perspective of the player, but it won't actually turn the mech. So when you're holding the controller, you can look and be like, okay, there's a guy over there, so you can turn the mech, shoot at the guy, and all of that stuff. And then they actually told us, jetpack to the top of the map, and then just free fall. And you do get a sense of vertigo doing that, and to me it was really cool because I kind of like that type of thrill. So I don't know how much I would want to buy it. It really depends on the price point. I could tell it's going to probably be, it might be less than a system, but it's going to probably be in that $150 to $200 range. In my opinion, I asked them about it. They said that they don't have any information on that yet. So, oh well. But yeah, they had a lot of career stuff there. They had a lot of schools. Not much to demo on the expo floor, but the talks are basically, the panels are what everyone goes for. So I went to a handful of them, and then it was all the parties, and the parties were the highlight for me because that's how I got to meet people, and I had a lot of fun. There's a few open bars, and thankfully I wasn't driving or walking on those days, so yeah. But yeah, then I came back, and now I'm recording this, but all in all, the whole trip was a ton of fun. I don't know if I'll do GDC again because, like I said, I don't know that it's meant for a community manager or a system administrator. So, but I'll definitely do PAX again. But PAX I've always had a blast at. Um, and then sorry, it's forming words is tough. But PAX Prime probably my favorite because I love Seattle. PAX East is a ton of fun. However, the internet's a little tough. So when you are going in as a community manager or, in Dave's point, a marketing director, it's hard to tweet out updates as you're in the expo floor because you don't have much in terms of service. So yeah, but I'll definitely do PAX again. And I recommend to all of you who are out there, at least go to one PAX because it truly is fun. Even if it's just as an attendee, like I said, I've gone as an enforcer and I've gone as an exhibitor. So I kind of have both sides of it. I don't have just the attendee experience, even though this badge here is just for an attendee, but I was working the booth. So, needless to say, this year's PAX, I really only needed a one-day pass to take in everything that I wanted, whereas in PAX Prime in 2010, I wanted the you almost needed the 3-day pass because there was a ton of stuff. You were waiting in lines a lot, and yeah. So that's basically my recap. There was a lot of stuff that went on. It was a long week and a half, and when I came home, I immediately went to my parents for Easter. So I think I got to sleep in my bed for one night in about 2 weeks. So it was long, but it was fun, and it was definitely worth it. So again, here's my PAX and GDC recap. Hope you guys liked it. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment, send me a message. I don't really care. I'll respond to whoever has any questions on it. And I will see you guys in the next review, which is actually Epic Mickey 2. I'm about to record that actually now as we speak. So I will see you guys there. I'm BlurryPhoenix, and till the next review.